This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Is Widener to Smith more dangerous than Witt? A riddle Silverado cannot solve as Jeff Widener riddles the Hawks defense for 8 touchdown passes, 5 to Xander Witt. And Apple Valley outlasts the Hawks 52-42 in the annual Kickoff Classic between Mojave River League and Desert Sky League powerhouses. Silverado scores first, and the Hawks score last. But the explosive Sun Devils score more in between in a mistakes and penalties-plagued season opener for both schools. Juwan Howard's 29-yard sprint up the middle puts the Hawks up 14-7 at the 7-minute mark in the second quarter before a torrent of Jeff Widener long-distance aerial strikes build a 24-point lead for the visiting Sun Devils at the outset of the fourth quarter. This 85-yard Jeff Widener to Xander Witt connection, the first scoring in the second half, after Apple Valley led 19-14 at the intermission. This 28-yard touchdown pass, Xander Witt's 5th TD reception of the game, gives the Sun Devils a 52-28 lead in the fourth quarter before Silverado storms back with a pair of touchdowns to make it interesting going down to the wire. This online sports report presented by Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, supporting teams, schools, and athletes throughout the Victor Valley. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. The San Bernardino Sun sports writers' preseason choice to reign supreme in 2018's Mojave River League, defending league champions, Apple Valley. Sun Devils coach Matt Rohrbaugh has returning skill position players galore, led by all-CIF quarterback Jeff Widener, and 2017 leading touchdown maker Donovan Ferguson. Video Sports lets this 2017 end-of-season report explain. Apple Valley skill players serve notice in the semifinals loss in the CIF playoffs. Running back Donovan Ferguson and quarterback Jeff Widener will carry the roaring success and invaluable experience of their junior season into a Chapter 4 of the Matt Rohrbaugh era, subtitled Unfinished from Undefeated Forward. Donovan Ferguson scores both touchdowns in the 21-14 season-ending loss. The 5'11", 165-pound junior makes an incredible clutch reception on a 4th and 6 that results in 6 as Apple Valley ties the score in quarter number 4. Jeff Widener again demonstrates his big play capabilities, that of a true dual threat. The 6'2", 185-pound Widener throws for 8 touchdowns in the 3 playoff games. He ties the school record for career touchdown passes in his junior season. Past receivers who join Jeff Widener and Donovan Ferguson in returning in 2018 include Chad Smith and Xander Witt. This pair of speedsters on the receiving end of 19 of Jeff Widener's record-tying 35 TD receptions. While O-line mainstays, center R.J. Hayes, guards Mike Dunn, Cole Kritzenberger, and Grant Smith, and tackle Isaac Miles are graduating, a pair of hefty underclassmen return 70, 225-pound Gabe Sadi and 72, 6'3", 282-pound Cole Mayo. Bear-like Matt Rohrbaugh's cupboard is not being left bare. Oak Hills is the pick to give Apple Valley its toughest run for the money. Coach Robert Kistner has 2016 All-Leaguer Mikey Delgado back. The wide receiver missed most of 2017 with a leg injury. 2017 starting quarterback Josh Stewart is back, listed at 6'2", 200 pounds, his senior year. Martinique Finn, 32, returns at running back. He is 5'10", 170. Martinique Finn was first-team All-MRL last year. The offensive line is led by 75, the 6'6", 315-pound Jason Rodriguez, a USC Trojans commit. Added to the Bulldogs' arsenal, the Moa tandem, two-way starters last season from Victor Valley. Junior Sion Moa quarterbacked and played wide receiver and started at safety. Senior linebacker Lake Moa also started at fullback. Serrano second-year coach Casey Mahalchek resumes rebuilding, returning a pair of all-leaguer number 85, tight end and linebacker Matt Lowe, 6'5", 220, and running back Nicholas Reed Casey.
Reed Casey gets into the end zone, but we have a flag on the play.
Sultana, longtime coach Keith Locklear, has defensive back Juan Perez, 27, back, as well as all MRL first-team selections Justice Pele, 53, and Jeru Pele, 56. Hesperia remains in rebuilding mode under first-year coach Casey Goodnow. The Sun sports writers see Burroughs suffering the biggest fall from grace. The 2017 MRL runners-up graduated nearly all their frontline players, bar wide receiver and defensive back Bryson Pippin, 32, who will wear 6 his senior year. Burroughs must replace head coach Todd Mather as well. Sean Fullerton is the new coach for the Burroughs from Ridgecrest. Midway Home Solutions Action Highlights. This video sports online report presented by Midway Home Solutions. Midway features a huge selection of kitchen appliances, home and laundry appliances, electronics, furniture, and mattresses. Midway Home Solutions. The San Bernardino Sun sports writers look for Silverado to be in reload mode as opposed to rebuilding, largely on the strength of outstanding defensive players returning under veteran coach Rafael Janorio. Topping that list, all CIF defensive lineman and Desert Sky League Defensive Player of the Year, Tequil Obana. Weighing in at 310 pounds his senior season, the 5'10" Tequil Obana is a one-man wrecking ball, swift of foot, a sure tackler, 21 tackles for a loss, and 11 sacks among his 34 solo tackles. He averaged 7 tackles a game his junior year. Middle linebacker Tino Mao, 8, was the Hawks' leading tackler last season. He is a 3-year starter wearing that number 8, Silverado's iconic middle linebacker position. Defensive back Aaron Bullock, 9, is also back. Aaron Bullock had a breakout game in 2017. Silverado's 63-34 come-from-behind thumping of Los Osos. Hawks kicker Ramon Oliveras was All-Desert Sky League last year, his sophomore season. Coach Rafael Janorio's offensive scheme of things improved significantly with the transfer of running back Nick Reed Casey from Serrano. Nicholas Reed Casey was first-team All-Mojave River League last year for the Diamondbacks. Silverado's untested offense undergoes a baptism under fire opening week when the Hawks host the Apple Valley Sun Devils, reigning Mojave River League champions. Sun sports writer C.J. Daft, the former Daily Press scribe of many a season, foresees Granite Hills emerging the most serious contender to Silverado's defense of their DSL title. The Cougars return 17 starters. Under Coach Alex Gonzalez, wide receiver Mike Gutierrez will be wearing 18 his senior year. Mike Gutierrez, first-team wide receiver, All-DSL last year. 21, running back Deshaun Brown, was a starter last year before an injury sidelined him. The Cougars' degree of progress is measured early. Granite Hills faces Apple Valley in Week 2, the annual Battle for the Barrel, after opening against Riverside Prep kickoff weekend. The stability of the returning head coach, Alex Gonzalez, certainly a factor benefiting Granite Hills, an advantage not shared by two DSL schools under first-year coaches. Although Victor Valley's new coach is certainly a tested and successful veteran, John Stewart takes over the reins of the Jackrabbits after leading Silver Valley to the CIF Division 13 title game last year. All DSL offensive lineman Isaac Yugapo, 52, among returning Rabbits starters from a year ago. Galil Wadud becomes Atalanto's fourth head coach in 6 seasons of Saints football. Galil Wadud is determined to pump new life into a Saints program that has managed but 2 Desert Sky League victories the past 5 seasons. Barstow and second-year coach Kurt Mitchell return all DSL linebacker Jakari Hobbs to anchor the Aztecs defense. Midway Home Solutions Action Highlights. This video sports online report presented by Midway Home Solutions. Midway features a huge selection of kitchen appliances, home and laundry appliances, electronics, furniture, and mattresses. Midway Home Solutions. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. The world-class auctioneers at I-15 Auctions. Bid fast, bid last. I-15 Auctions. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. And Ewan Zach Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problems. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting high desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. Speedway Sprints Pro 500 season points leader John Alonzo and Restrictor Plate season points leader Justin Taylor increase their leads with main event victories as the first race of the second half of the season is in the books at Wheel to Wheel Raceway. The hard luck and bad breaks continues for Trent Johnson in his rookie campaign in the Restrictor class. Braden Struder takes the victory lap in winning the Intermediates main and moves into a tie for first place in season points. Lydia Brown climbs atop the podium, taking the checkered in the Dirt Carts Junior class. Ryan Bond, the winner in the Dirt Carts Senior main. This is the first heat race of this August 11th event, round 8 of the 2018 season. The youngest racers, the Intermediates. Cash Culp, green $sign. He turns 10 the following week. 2 is just turned 11. Sean Rogers from Riverside, nicknamed Gorilla. They are followed by 10. Braden Struder, he's 10 years old. Casper Wright, green 18. He's 7, a second-year racer from Apple Valley who might answer to Ollie. Sean Rogers and Braden Struder duel for the lead. Braden Struder begins the day in second place in season points with 47. It will be Sean Rogers taking the first checkered of the day. 1 is the Bandit Braden Miller-Bushy, 8, 7-year-old rookie Ryan Shank from Apple Valley. Red 29, Ricky Simpson, defending track champion. Ricky Racer is 10. He races out of Apple Valley. White 22, Liam Coffey, 6-year-old from Vertimount, nicknamed Yeti. Braden Miller-Bushy races out of Riverside. He is 10 and in his 3rd season racing wheel to wheel. The Bandit leads this heat race from green to checkered. 12. Tyler Banfield, blue 28, Stevie Simpson, 13, Riley Tippett behind him. This Intermediates heat race gets off to a bumpy start for season points leader Jaden Manchester, silver blue 23. Sky Farrell, 55, starts in front and will not relinquish the lead. Sky Farrell is 18 years old, 3rd season racing at Wheel to Wheel. A nursing major, Sky Farrell played lacrosse in high school. A most unusual outcome in this Pro 500 heat race. Trackmaster John Aiden starts behind Jacob Rogers, 3, and Brian Struder, 10. 1 lap in, John Aiden moves out to a commanding lead and appears to be coasting to a win. But last lap, John Aiden runs out of gas, literally, and Brian Struder streaks past him for the checkered. Green 88, Daniel Smithson. The 8-car Ryan Tippett's behind him in a Pro 500 heat race that demonstrates 2 distinctly different preferences in which line or lane to take. Buck Blair, 39 cars, Dark Knight, and 766, Bobby Taylor, the demonstrators. Buck Blair runs the top and barrels down the straightaway, hell-bent for leather, coming out of turn 3.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, if you're running the bottom, the top's faster. If you're running the top, the bottom's faster. Anyway, that's my luck. So, you know, I don't know. I prefer to run the top even if it's not faster. It's just more fun. So that's where I go.
Right now, the track seems to be a 1-lane racetrack. If you try to go high, it's really heavy. There's a lot of dirt up there. So you got to stay low, and there ain't much room to pass if you stay low.
Bobby Taylor, former NHRA World Champion top alcohol dragster, runs low and goes on to win this heat race. Bobby Taylor began the night in 2nd place in season points with 38, 7 points out of 1st. Restrictor plate heat race. 18, John Estes. White, 10, behind him, Braden Struder. Stevie Rogers, 3R, outside lane. 7, Trent Johnson. 33, season points leader, Justin Taylor. Watch Marilyn Tippett's, 58, and Will Brown, 84, battle it out in this restrictor plate event, one of the closest heat races of the night. Marilyn Tippett's is 15 in her 4th season racing wheel-to-wheel. This her rookie year in the restrictor plate class. She races out of Oak Hills. Marilyn Tippett's winds up leading from start to finish, taking the checkered. Dirt Karts Junior, Maine. Lydia Brown, a leading from start to finish winner in her white 16. Lydia Brown is 11 years old. She races out of Glendora. This is her 1st year racing at wheel-to-wheel. Dual class competitor Cash Cole, who also races intermediates, finishes 2nd and retains his season points lead. Cole Brown, 9-year-old brother of Lydia, finishes 3rd. Lydia Brown's victory gives her 58 season points, 8 behind Cash Cole. Intermediates, Maine, season points leader Jaden Manchester, 23, inside, 2nd row behind Sean Rogers, Dark 2 car, and Braden Struder, white 10. Braden Struder stays low and overtakes Sean Rogers. Braden Struder races to the checkered, lapping a pair of challengers along the way, and his winning the main moves him into a 1st place tie in season points, 55, same as 2nd place finisher Jaden Manchester. The restrictor class main starts with 5 of the 7 cars getting tangled up out of turn 1. Trent Johnson, white 7, spins. Marilyn Tippett's 58 cannot avoid him. Stevie Rogers lands on her side. Braden Struder screeches to a halt. Rookie John Estes barely avoids contact. Trent Johnson and Stevie Rogers are unable to restart. Justin Taylor, 33, pole position on the restart. Marilyn Tippett's outside front row. Will Brown, white 84. Braden Struder, white 10. John Estes, 18B. Justin Taylor, JT, 19-year-old, out of Laguna Hills into a commanding lead. Justin Taylor goes on to win the restrictor main again, building his season points lead to 15 points ahead of 2nd place Trent Johnson. Dirt Karts Seniors main event. Green 17, Daisy Blaylock. Blue 14, Ryan Bond. Purple 77, Heidi Jo Erickson. Doug Bushy 7. Tim Lucero 1. Daisy Blaylock tied for the season points lead, coming in with dad Jethro Blaylock. Halfway through, Ryan Bond has moved out in front and will go on to win the Dirt Karts Senior main. Ryan Bond now has 47 championship points. Daisy Blaylock leads in season points with 51, 2 ahead of Jethro Blaylock. Pro 500 main. John Alonso has the pole position. John Aiden outside lane, first row. Buck Blair behind him. Ryan Struder behind John Alonso's 99. The racing chimney sweep out of Orange County maintains his lead, moving half a dozen car lengths ahead of John Aiden and Brian Struder, who go at it turn after turn in second and third until Brian Struder loses a tire and hits the wall. The restart allows John Aiden to gain ground on John Alonso, but the season points leader fights off the Iceman, the trackmaster, down the straightaway and to the checker. Buck Blair finishes third. John Alonso counters tradition in the victory lap, circling the oval clockwise, celebrating his increased lead and season point totals now 53-10 ahead of second place Bobby Taylor. Racing returns Saturday, September 15, race night 9 in the season series of 14 at Wheel to Wheel, the fastest 1/8-mile dirt track around.
I-15 Auctions, sold on supporting High Desert Sports. I-15 Auctions, from estate auctions to high-quality used vehicles at low, low prices.
Kick tires, air fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Terry Kurtz here, throwing you an invitation to catch the 30-minute action highlights program, your High Desert Sports Report, showing daily on the Victor Valley Television Network, victorvalleytv.com. Yardbirds flashbacks provide memories for the local Pecos League team, this time a year ago. High Desert was on their way to winning the 2017 Pecos League Championship in the team's inaugural season. If Cody Culp was magnificent in his postseason victory at Tucson, as described by this video journalist, he was magnificent-er in his next performance. High Desert sidearm delivery standout shuts out Roswell over 7 innings, striking out an unbelievable 15 invaders without walking a hitter, in pitching the Yardbirds to a 7-0 triumph in Roswell. That puts High Desert 1 win away from the Pecos League Championship. Roswell manager Brian Clark concurs with the assessment of Cody Culp's performance, saying, "Culp was best pitcher I've seen in the league this year. He had a fastball with late life that is exploding." 15 strikeouts in 7 innings? Cody Culp was very modest in his self-analysis in this June 8th interview. What do you have work? What do you bring to the table?
Well, hopefully a bunch of zeros on the scoreboard. That's what I'm coming at. I mean, not a huge strikeout guy. Let the defense work behind me and just get through the game.
High Desert skipper Chance Sharp sends another 23-year-old right-hander to seal the deal. Jordan Norton starts for the Yardbirds against, win or the season ends, Roswell. Chance Sharp has been brilliant in his lineup selections and in-game decisions throughout the playoffs. The decisions become brilliant when the players he calls upon respond in game-deciding manner. Blake Butcher drives in 2 runs in the first in the 7-0 win at Roswell, a 2-out base hit, driving in the only runs of the game through the first 6 innings. Blake Butcher put together 8 hits altogether in the last 3 Yardbirds playoff victories and leads the team with 7 postseason RBIs. Leadoff hitter Dominic Zayer continues to put himself on the short list of Yardbirds' most valuable player in the playoffs. 2 more hits, 2 runs scored, and 2 runs driven in against the Invaders. Dominic Zayer leads Yardbirds starters in hitting in the postseason with a .429 average. Shane Brown's 2-run single with 2 outs in the 7th began breaking it open for High Desert. 6 RBIs for Shane Brown in the postseason. Ronnie Grant registers 3 hits, including a double, in the Roswell win. Ronnie Grant, 12 hits in the 6 postseason contests. He is hitting .304 in the playoffs. Dylan Kester collects 2 hits and scores 2 runs. High Desert's offense has scored 43 runs in its 6 postseason contests, validating Chance Sharp's lineup juggling strategy in the final 2 weeks of regular season play. Chance Sharp has a well-rested bullpen waiting on the Yardbirds' wings in the possible series-clinching showdown. Jonathan Fleckenstein blanked the Invaders in the 8th and 9th to seal the Game 1 shutout. The 6'5", 21-year-old threw 26 pitches. He has plenty left in the tank if needed again. Southpaws Jalen Bird and A.J. Epstein are ready. So is Avery Brandon. And saves leader Zach Williams, who has saves in both of the narrow postseason victories at Tucson. The High Desert Yardbirds roar through the postseason like a team possessed, winning 6 of 8 playoff contests, capped by a 5-2 Pecos League Championship triumph in distant New Mexico. The end result caps a season that began with highest expectations. Anthony Hawken aboard with a 2-out walk. High Desert's first home field base hit in franchise history off the bat of Callan Marufo. The Yardbirds, a team comprised of talent at the outset equal to all comers. But by 1 month into the season, 1 week into their inaugural homestand, management knew the team needed to be revamped if it is to compete with Tucson and Bakersfield for the Pacific Division title. The 2 leading Yardbirds hitters out of the gate are fallen by injuries. Anthony Hawkins goes down 1 week into the campaign. First baseman Callan Marufo follows on the DL. I shall leave it to your imagination how the Yardbirds would have prospered had Anthony Hawkins and Callan Marufo been healthy all year, or even after the All-Star break forward. In addition to replenishing the offensive firepower, defense at the corners needed upgrades, and 1/2 of the pitcher-catcher battery is about to be recharged. A trio of youngsters from LaGrange College in Georgia are brought in, middle infielder Blaine Swift and third baseman Blake Butcher. Their impact immediate. Undistinguished in early play upon arrival, a pitcher who would emerge an equally integral piece of the championship puzzle, 21-year-old relief pitcher Jonathan Fleckenstein. When Callan Marufo, then Anthony Hawkins, go down again, additional newcomers arrive. Team chemistry is affected. The feathers of some first-half starters are being ruffled, all-star Yardbirds among them. 2 of the 5 starting pitchers go down with what proved to be season-ending injuries. All it takes is for one seemingly small part of a fast-moving express to quit performing, and the wheels are in jeopardy of falling off. The challenges mount for the engineer, in this case, newly elevated manager Chance Sharp, 2 years younger than his recently acquired catcher Yuta Okazaki, and 3 other players on the Yardbirds roster. Here and now is a good time to insert emphasis on the reality check that every player and coach on this Pecos League team is, in fact, paying it forward in time, energy, resources, and effort, going through tremendous personal sacrifice to continue pursuit of the dream and persevering. Prime example, Chance Sharp had made a tremendous personal sacrifice at the very outset of the season. He arrives in Adelanto 1 day after he was married.
Speaking of sacrifice, I mean, this whole season took some sacrifice on Chance Sharp. How'd you spend your honeymoon?
Well, we haven't really got there yet. The honeymoon's coming, of course, and I couldn't have done it without her support. She's been great.
Chance Sharp underwent tremendous scrutiny upon being elevated to managerial duties. Yardbirds All-Stars found themselves sitting the bench as newcomers are given their baptism under fire. It had to be seen and learned if newcomers could perform under the pressure of a race to make the playoffs. The leadership and allegiance of veteran players Shane Brown, Josiah Ward, Patrick Jones become epic in proportion. The pieces seem to begin to fall in place. High Desert wins 7 of its last 9 regular season games, and the rest becomes historic. Zach Williams throws the last pitch of the championship season, striking out the side to ice the triumph on a hot and humid New Mexico evening. High Desert Yardbirds, Pecos League champions. The legacy of Yardbirds baseball could not have gotten off to a better beginning.
This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program.